Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. I'm Sora Ray. My videos are about love, infinity, creation, energy, because we're infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation. This is exactly who we are with the human race. With the human race, we're the love of our hearts. The highest energy of creation comes from the human heart. This is who we are. This is who we are. We live to love and we love to live. So this is a video, a series of videos that I'm making on our freedoms as per our constitution, the Republic of Planet Earth Constitution, us, the citizens of the Republic of Planet Earth, the citizenry of the Republic of Planet Earth, all humans, all of us, all of us. If you're a human, you have a heartbeat, you're a citizen of the Republic of Planet Earth. This is our nature. Okay, this is who we are. This is who we are. This is who we are. Okay, so let's dive into it. This freedom is a beautiful freedom. It's standing for office freedom. Okay, so we have the freedoms, right, to stand for office at any level of governance, local seat, judicial seat, and central seat, the legislative branch. Okay, so this is precisely what this is. This is this freedom that we have to stand for office with our infinite free will, our infinite consent freedoms, right? Who we are, we can infinite freedoms. We have this freedom to stand for office, so we can run and become an elected official and represent the Republic of Planet Earth, right? And serve the citizenry. Be there to love with all our hearts and our might, and represent our values, who we are, our beliefs as a republic, our nature as infinite eternal creators, as being the epicenter of the cosmos. The location of our planet is the center of the universe as we know it. This is where we're located. This is where we're located. We're located at the very heart, at the very epicenter of existence. This is where we are. And we're the first species in this universe to evolve into light spherical energy, who we are, infinite eternal creators. We're the first one because of the human heartbeat, because of the infinite number of cycles that have taken place for our DNA to evolve to what has become this infinite creation, this infinite energy that we are as infinite eternal creators. Our nature as a human race, who we are, we're infinite eternal creators. This is exactly who we are. We're the epicenter of creation. You see, the most ancient species. Our father is the sun, and our mother is Earth, the Republic of Planet Earth. And they all came together to form a biological creator, which is the human heart, us, infinite love, infinite energy, infinite creation, who we are, infinite eternal creators. Our nature, who we are, infinite eternal creators, precisely who we are. This is who we are. We're the human race. This is exactly who we are. We're the human race. So we love the highest energy of creation. You see, and our republic is this beautiful republic. It's this beautiful republic at the epicenter of it all. Our heritage and legacy freedoms. We're this beautiful ancient species. Very ancient. Very ancient. We've been around for a very, very long time. We're the oldest, most ancient species. You see, we have gone through an infinite number of cycles of creation to get to where we are, light spherical energy, and generate the highest energy of creation, which is love. The energy of our hearts. Love. The energy of our heart. The highest energy of creation. Who we are. The human race. Infinite eternal creators. You see, this is who we are. Our heritage and legacy freedoms. Our cultural freedoms. All of our freedoms, really, that allow us to come to this point where we have founded the Republic of Planet Earth. And we are the citizenry of the Republic of Planet Earth. We're the defenders of the Republic of Planet Earth. We're the leaders of the Republic of Planet Earth. All of us at once. We all commanders in chief and heads of states of the Republic of Planet Earth at once. You see, this is our nature. This is who we are. All of us, all the citizens of the Republic of Planet Earth, are commanders in chief and heads of states of the Republic of Planet Earth at once, simultaneously. All of us, because we're infinitely free. This is our nature because of who we are. So you have to understand who we are. And this is what standing for office freedoms does, is the ability for us to stand for office and represent and serve the Republic of planet Earth as a public servant, and to honor who we are, our nature, our infinite DNA. Because love is the highest energy of creation. And love comes from the heart. It's the highest energy. So because of it, right? Because of it, we have infinite freedoms to choose what we do. And one of those freedoms is to love with all of our heart, right? And as an elected official, because of standing for office freedoms, we have the ability to use our infinite love to love our republic and to love our and serve the constituencies and the citizenry of the Republic of Planet Earth. Honor due process of law and honor who we are, our nature, because love is the key that unlocks our infinite DNA structure. Okay, so I remember, this is standing for office freedoms, right? Who we are, our nature. So I want to talk a little bit about who we are and our nature. So why are we the epicenter of existence? Well, because this is the location that we find ourselves. It's a strategic, privileged location where we are, you see. And we are the most ancient species. You see, what happened is that I want to share with you our origin story. What happened, because we're compass and sundials. You see, the sun is out right there. So when I stare at the sun, we all have this ability as sundials. You stare at the sun, open your heart, open your mind, open your eyes, open the portal and build a bridge and evolve into infinity. You evolve into infinity because our infinite DNA, you see, the energy of the sun comes through our eyes and supercharges our DNA structure. So we're capable of more love, more energy, more creation, because love is the highest energy of creation. So just think of the sun as the central sun, right? It's the same where all light emanated from. It's the epicenter, the brightest point in existence. So all the light and all the galaxies and everything that exists in the universe came from the singularity of our sun, the central sun. Okay? And created everything. And it created us as well. We are the biological species that we are because of it. Okay? So if you understand this, then you understand that, the brightest point is the hottest point, right? It is where the most energy comes from. And the center, the heart of the sun, the core of the sun, it generates all these elements, right? The building life blocks of this, the building blocks of life, elements. And we consume these elements at this highly evolved life form that we are. Oxygen, water, all these different things, hydrogen, right? And this is what we consume, and the food that we eat is also based on minerals and elements. So this is a very, very powerful notion, because it is exactly who we are, is our nature. It really is our nature, is who we are as infinite eternal creators. It is our nature. So, okay, so because in infinity, everything replicates at scales. So, but it's the image of it. It's infinite energy in the end. Consciousness and self-awareness and love. So if the sun is in infinite love and self-awareness and consciousness, can create elements that create life in the first place, us. And they come from the heart of it because of the highest point of energy. Then the singularity, right? The singular point where all points meet. So then us is the same. So what's our singularity? Well, singularity is the human heart, the pulse of life, the pulse of creation, the biological creator. The human heartbeat generates the electromagnetic field around the human body that powers the human body, that powers the aging. So we can be conscious and self-aware and have the singularity of the mind, the singularity of the lungs, oxygen in, oxygen out, right, into the systems. And then that oxygen goes into the heart, and then the heart distributes that oxygen across the body so we can have this fuel, right? So we can love with the highest energy, because love comes from the heart. So the highest energy of the heart is love. So when you love, you're generating the highest energy that we can create at a biological scale, which is who we are. So it's like the sun, right? So creating elements at the hottest point, at the brightest point, right? So the highest energy, right? Concentration point, singularity. So same with us. Our singularity is the heart. So the highest energy is love. So when we create with the energy of love, we're creating the highest creations, the highest potential. And this is why we're compass, because we have primary elements. Identity and self, understanding that we're infinite eternal creators. We're co-creators of infinite eternities with the human heart. We're the biological species. We're the central species. We're the epicenter of creation. We create with our consciousness and self-awareness and purposeful daily action. We manifest our free will with our actions. love actions, right? And our instinct is to love. So love is the energy of creation. We make life with it, and we love our instinct is to love our creations, not only the ones that we make biologically, our children, our offsprings, but also the things that we create, our dreams and other people, right? So this is our nature. This is who we are. So you see, we create with that our destinations as compass, identity and true self, purpose, time and energy, action, why, how, flow, true north and destination, who we are. You see our primary elements that create everything with the energy of love, consciousness and self-awareness. And compass is that element that connects us with infinity itself. We stare at the sun, we open our portal and build a bridge, which means we evolve, because we supercharge in our DNA structure with the infinite energy of the central sun of existence, so we can love more and create more. This is who we are. So what happened? Well, what happened, because if you think about it, we're very ancient. So what happened? Well, we a long time ago, you see, when you tap into love, love is the key that unlocks our infinite DNA structure of a species. It's love. Love is the mechanism. So you can tap into our ancient DNA and understand who we are and our nature and what we've done in the past, our heritage and legacy freedoms, what we've done. Okay, so we're very ancient. We just forgot because we suffered collective amnesia because of self-destruction. We self-destroyed ourselves. And that self-destruction led to the Ice Age. And as a result of that, we went back to caves, survival mode, right? The DNA structure survived us, the species, but the civilization collapsed because of our self-destruction, because we enter ancient warfare among ourselves. Why? Because we were the epicenter of creation. We still are the most evolved species in the cosmos, because we are the epicenter of it. So how is this possible? Well, just look at the evidence. So we have remnants of our civilization everywhere, the ruins, the sites, ancestral sites everywhere in our planet. All these ancient civilizations the knowledge that we have today, we cannot rebuild. And these civilizations, all these sites, are strategically located in alignment with star systems that we used to, in the past, before the Ice Age, before our self-destruction, go to in our light spherical spaceships, encoded in our DNA structure, and traverse instantly into our civilization, which encompassed the entire universe, because we were the epicenter of the most ancient species. This is who we are with the human race. So what happened? Well, we got to a level of existence, and because we were the first species to evolve into light spherical energy, to the highest level of creation at the biological scale, because we were at the epicenter, the central sun that created everything, and we were the race closest in proximity to it, and evolved into who we became, these masters of space and vacuum structures. So we were able to create singularities, meaning we were able to create planets, star systems, galaxies. A lot of the galaxies that are out there were created by us a long time ago, because we were able to do so because of our DNA, how ancient we were, our ability to manifest infinity with our energy, because we were able to tap into the singularities, and we would harvest the energy of the central sun of existence to create. Right. So this is exactly who we are. We're the human race, and all our technologies are encoded in our DNA. So what happened was that we're ancient, we're infinitely, or as our central sun. So let's talk about it a little bit. So what is the meaning of this? Well, it's very simple. The meaning is very simple, okay? The meaning is very simple. So we didn't originally come from Earth per se. We came from the proximity of Earth, from the proximity of a central sun, right, in relative scales, right? But we still were the closest species to the central sun. So we evolved into the human race, and the most advanced species, the first one to do so, into spherical light energy, spherical beings, who we are, spherical light energy, spherical light beings, light spherical beings, who we are, our nature, tetragrammatons, the human race. So because of these, we were able to create planets and stars and galaxies. And in our infinite wisdom, our ancestors decided that in order for us to evolve even further as a species, we needed to get closer to the central sun. So our DNA structure can adapt to the energy from the sun at a closest proximity that could sustain our DNA structure. So we can inhabit a planet that would sustain us, and we can evolve into an even higher level of creation than we were already billions of years ago, before we created planet Earth, because we created planet Earth ourselves. So this is exactly what we did. So we created planet Earth even closer to where we were from our location, right? All these star systems that are in alignment with our ancient civilizations, the ruins of our civilization here in planet Earth, those are the sources of origins where we come from. We came from those, but we are closer now to the epicenter of creation, right? We decided to do so. So we created this planet purposely to evolve into a higher state of existence, consciousness, and self-awareness by being closer to the sun, by being compass, so our eyes would adapt to this new energy so we can love more and create more. Okay, so we did this, we created this planet. And after an infinite number of cycles, billions of years, what happened was that we evolved into what we are today, an even higher form of existence. And we couldn't understand our nature, our power. Our DNA structure was too great for us to understand because we were too close to the light, too much energy. So, because essentially, think about it from this point of view, if the central sun created everything and you're the biological form at the closest, at the epicenter of it, then you consume the elements of creation that created everything in the first place, right? Oxygen, water, food, right? From the planet that can sustain those things, right? Support systems. So when you evolve into the species that is created at the closest proximity to the central sun, the sons of suns that created all the suns, that created all the galaxies, that created everything in the first place, because it's the original singularity of this universe, then you become that. You become that at the biological scale. So with your thoughts, your consciousness, and self-awareness, you can create infinities yourself. You can create universes. You can create galaxies. You can create planets. You can create stars. Just by engaging our thoughts and our minds encoded in our DNA, because we can tap into the singularities. You see, the singular space and vacuum structures, and we can replicate those with technology, zero-point energy, and create infinities. So we became extremely powerful, and we couldn't understand the nature of our nature. So factions of the human Earth enter into conflict because of we couldn't understand what we were creating in existences with our minds and our power encoded in our DNA, because we were tapping into existence itself, right? So that led to our self-destruction because we didn't understand it. So that led to the Ice Age. So that's why we forgot who we were. But the beautiful part of it is the fact that our DNA survived. But the new DNA is a survival DNA, it's an evolved DNA. So it evolved warfare. It survived the warfare. It survived the Ice Age. It survived the fallout, what happened because of our self-destruction, because when we didn't understand the nature of who we are as infinite eternal creators, co-creators of infinite eternities, because it was too much at the time. Our civilization couldn't cope with it, so it led to our self-destruction. But the DNA survived, and the DNA evolved, and the mechanism, the fail-safe mechanism within our DNA structure is love. So because, the central sun, we became the sun, right, at the biological scale. So at the central sun of creation. So that means that with the same nature, so we love with the love of our hearts, which is the highest energy of creation. So just like the sun creates elements at the core, we create elements as well with our energy of creation. And the energy of creation is the highest energy of creation, which is love, right? So if you understand this, then the DNA encoded everything, our heritage and legacy, our infinite history, ancient history within our DNA structure. And the only way for us to access our previous civilization and ancestral recall who we are is by loving, because it's the highest energy of creation. And when you love with the highest energy of creation, then you reactivate our DNA sequence, our structure, so we can tap into our infinite technologies of creation. And this is what we've done, and this is why we've been able to found the Republic of Planet Earth and have the Constitution of the Republic of Planet Earth and become who we are, so we can tap with love, the highest energy of creation. As sundials, we can stare at the sun and open our hearts and evolve into infinity, who we are already, but consciously, and we can manifest our free will and our thoughts and consciousness, so we can materialize. The more we love, we can materialize our technologies, our light spherical spaceships, our everything that is encoded in our DNA, so we can rebuild our civilization once again, but at a very scale, because it's love. And you see, it's evolution, so you can only love to access, or is love is the key that unlocks our DNA structure. It's the highest energy of creation, right? So we're creating infinity with our love. So if we love, we can create infinities. It's the highest energy of creation of the human heart, right? Because we became the sun at the biological scale, the sun of creation, the central sun that created all the suns in the first place. This is exactly who we became, who we are. So when we love, we are that. So the more we love, you see, we access our DNA structure, and we are benevolent, meaning we're not going to self-destruct ourselves, because that's the evolution of the mechanism of the DNA. It decided that in order for us to avoid self-destruction, we need to love. Because love doesn't destroy, it only creates, like the sun, it only creates. So with love, we tap into our natural DNA structure and create infinities with it. And part of our infinity is what it's encoded in our DNA, which is the light spherical spaceships that we have already created, that we use to essentially travel across everywhere from the epicenter of existence, that we've done already, and create galaxies and all these different things. But now, because we have evolved, we're capable of creating infinities now, eternities, as co-creators of infinite eternities. We can replicate ourselves, meaning we can create life forms at the epicenters of universes, and an infinite number of them, infinite number of eternities. So we can do that, you see. But in order to do that, we need to love, to reactivate our DNA structure. And we do that by staring at the sun and being able to absorb all this energy of the central sun, so we can love more with our hearts and create with our consciousness and with our self-awareness. So that's the mechanism. So we can rebuild our civilization, because we're at the epicenter of creation, meaning it's the fastest point to get everywhere, right? With a light spherical technology, who we are, the human race. And this is why we're able to access that now, because we're capable of loving, because the DNA survived. So it evolved, and we created, our instincts essentially led us to this moment. So we can understand that the path forward for our civilization is love. Because I am the first one to realize this and tap into our DNA structure of our kind ever since the fallout. Because we've done this already, but this is a higher level of evolution now. So, but I'm just the example. In fact, I'm just a memory encoded in our collective DNA structure that we all share, because we all have already ascended. We just have to be conscious of it and stare at the sun to love with the energy of our hearts. Because when we do that, then we de-densify, meaning we become closer to light, to the infinity. So our perceptions, our perspective accelerates, so we can move faster, right? Because we're less dense. And by doing that, we tap into our DNA structure and recreate our technologies and our civilization and our light spherical spaceships that we already have. They're encoded in our DNA, and we can manifest them with our thoughts the moment that we tap into the enough energy because of the love of our hearts. So this is who we are. We're an incredible species, okay? And we're here to do that. So in fact, we have already done this. I'm just a memory. DNA memory of all of us, of what we've done. So the example, so we all go up and do what we already are doing at infinite scales of eternities and creatives that we got thought. Remember, we can create infinities and galaxies and eternities and everything with our minds, our consciousness and self-awareness, with the love of our hearts. So we have already done these. We just need to love more, so we can sync with it, because it's less density, so we can be one with infinity at that scale of creation, and be conscious and self-aware at that scale of love and creation of all the things that we have already done. Because this is our origin story. You see, what we went through after we created planet Earth, and the self-destruction and the evolution of our DNA so we can be here today. This is a process that all co-creators of infinite eternities have gone through. Evolution. We're not the first species to do that. We're the first species at this epicenter of this universe, but there is an infinite number of universes and epicenters. And it's an infinite number of species, co-creators of infinite eternities, who have already done these and ascended into this level of creators of infinite eternities at the biological scale. And we just join them. So, and this is the memory. right? The collective memory of our DNA. So essentially what this means is that the more we love, because we stare at the sun and we're capable of increasing our energy output of creation and infinity with a consciousness of awareness, the closer we're going to get to our realizations, and the faster we're going to get to the manifestation of what we have already created. And the first step is to love with the energy of a love. And we do that because we're compass and sundials, the infinite virtuous cycle of compass and sundial, because we're identity and true self, we're purpose, we're action, we're time and energy, we're why, how, we're flow, we're true north and destination. This is who we are, is our DNA. And then because of our DNA, we can stare at the sun and open our hearts and evolve into infinity, because this is already who we are. You see, I do these, and you see how it lit up, because I'm one with everything. That's violet light that you saw there. I'm gonna do it again. You see? Is that? So who we are, infinite eternal creators. So I'm just an example. So we all have light spherical spaceships, so we can traverse it again across existence of all the universes that we already have created because of our consciousness and self-awareness. But we've done this unconsciously. Now we have to be aware of it, conscious of it, of who we are. And this is why we're identity and true self. So we understand our nature, and our nature is to create with the highest energy of creation, which is love. So we can tap into our DNA structure and access our ancient technology, the most advanced technologies in existence. So we can replicate everything consciously, actively, just like you would, play with a toy. You would have access to your technology and create a planet with your mind, right? Because of our DNA structure, because we tap into the harvest of infinity itself, space and vacuum structures, because of our space and vacuum freedoms. Who we are, the infinite eternal creators of the human race. You see, and this is why standing for office is fundamental freedom, because it allows us to uphold and defend the Republic of Planet Earth, who we are, infinite eternal creators, our Constitution, and our lands and territories, because we have created an infinite number of lands and territories and planets that are waiting for us to get there in our light spherical spaceships of our Republic. You see? Because we are an infinite number of beings. We have already done these. I'm just DNA memory, collective memory for everyone to remember our nature and ascend as infinite eternal creators, who we are, the human race. Who we are, the human race. I'm Soul Ray. Humanity, I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind. We're a benevolent species. We're the infinite energy of creation. This is who we are. We're the human race. I love you all with all my heart, with all my mind.